What's up guys, Chuck Palmer here. In a previous video, I explained how to test and fix no airflow in a vehicle. If the problem is the blower motor, this video will show you how to replace the blower motor on a 2015 Nissan Rogue. The heating and cooling functions are working, but the blower is not working. It is cold outside, 17 degrees Fahrenheit or -8 degrees Celsius. This needs to be replaced, or a new blower motor or a used one from a junkyard can work. This new blower motor is from AutoZone, but I will put an online link in the description below. I will also be replacing the cabin air filter while I'm at this job. The process involves removing the glove box, removing the side cover, removing the screw, removing some screws holding the glove box in place, removing the digital control unit here, removing the radio, removing this panel, removing this part of the dash, and then removing the blower motor. I know this is a lot of work to replace the blower motor, but it is not difficult if you follow these steps. There are a lot of things in the way of the blower motor that need to be removed. Let's get started. You will need a plastic pry tool and a screwdriver. Having an electrical connected tool like this might be needed. Now let's remove the glove box. Open the glove box and unclip this clip. Push at the side of the glove box like this to release 2 taps. Now use a little force to pull the glove box out of place. Now I can remove this side panel. Use the plastic pry tool to remove this panel. Now remove this screw. There are 7 screws to be removed here. One is missing from right here. Now let's remove this control unit. Use the plastic pry tool to pry this out. I'll rest it right here. No need to disconnect the wires. This panel that has the push start button needs to be removed. I will use my hand to pull it apart. Now I will pop this panel to get access to a screw holding the radio in place. Now I can remove all 4 screws holding the radio here. Now I will need to use a little force to pull out the radio. Now I need to remove this air vent to remove this panel. Now I need to use lots of force to pop this panel out of place. Now I can finally access the blower motor. It's right here. The space here is still tight, but it's workable. I will remove this screw here. Now to release this, I need to turn clockwise. I need to use lots of force or pressure. Now I can disconnect the electrical connector. This can be a little tricky, so having an electrical plug pliers would make this job easier. But I will use my hand to squeeze the release clip and push upwards. Now the blower motor can be removed. This motor is bad. This is the new one and they are identical. The main difference is where the connector is, and this connector is way more convenient and easier to access. This part here is a locking mechanism that locks this in place. You might have to make an adjustment to this and I'll show you why. I sand this down with sandpaper to get it to fit. It was too tight. I will insert the blower in place. It fits. Now I need to insert and turn anti-clockwise so that the screw hole lines up here. I was not able to turn it so that the hole lines up. I eventually did by sanding down the locking mechanism. I did not show in the video though. Aftermarket parts do not always fit perfectly sometimes, so making a little adjustment might be necessary. So I had to sand it down at the side for it to lock in place. And then the screw holds it in place so this won't move. Now I will connect the electrical connector. Before I go any further, I will test to see if it's working. It is working fine. I'm sure you can hear it now. This is before and this is after the installation. You can hear the wind blow. Now I'll install the new cabin air filter. I have to admit, this is the worst setup I've ever seen for a cabin air filter. I literally had to bend and rip to remove the old one and bend the new one to install it. Some engineering. To get access to the cabin air filter, remove this cover. Just stick your hand here and pop it right out. I have already removed the old cabin air filter. For the new cabin air filter, ensure that the flow arrow is pointing this way or to the rear of the vehicle. Start by inserting the lower part, then bend the upper part and insert it in. That's how I did it. Now I can reinstall the cabin air filter cover. Even this wasn't easy. I was really frustrated. It's now in place. It's time for the easy parts. Putting everything back together. It's winter time, and if your heat not working, you might not be able to take your car off. You might. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching. But before you go, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. See you on the next one, guys.